Welcome to the story. Don't forget to like, subscribe and support me. The storm raged outside, its fury echoing the turmoil within Osborne's hidden sanctuary. Lightning intermittently illuminated the chamber, casting eerie shadows that danced across walls adorned with ancient symbols and relics long forgotten by time. The air was thick with the scent of aged parchment and burning herbs, a testament to countless rituals performed in pursuit of arcane knowledge. Osborne stood before a weathered stone altar, his fingers deftly tracing the intricate patterns etched into the surface. His eyes, dark and determined, reflected the flickering candlelight as he uncovered a hidden compartment beneath the altar. Inside lay a tome bound in blackened leather, its cover adorned with symbols that pulsed with a sinister energy. With reverence, Osborne opened the book, revealing pages filled with forbidden spells and dark incantations. Each word seemed to whisper promises of unimaginable power, and a surge of exhilaration coursed through him. He had spent years delving into the darkest corners of magic, driven by a desire that bordered on obsession. The loss of his family to a tragic accident had left a void in his heart, one he believed could be filled by mastering forces beyond mortal comprehension. This tome, discovered in the depths of an ancient ruin, was the key to unlocking that power. As Osborne absorbed the contents of the tome, his mind raced with possibilities. The spells within spoke of reality warping abilities, capable of blurring the lines between the living and the dead. He envisioned a world where he could alter fate itself, erasing pain and suffering by reshaping reality to his will. The forbidden magic promised not only immense power but also the means to reunite with his lost loved ones. It was a tantalizing prospect, one that he was willing to pursue at any cost. A sudden flash of light interrupted his concentration, and Osborne found himself momentarily disoriented. In that brief moment, a vivid memory surfaced at Estella. Years ago, she had been a friend and ally, a powerful necromancer dedicated to maintaining the balance between life and death. They had worked together to protect the natural order, but that balance had been shattered by an experiment gone wrong. The catastrophic consequences had claimed countless lives, including those of people Osborne held dear. Estella had witnessed the devastation firsthand, her grief driving her to dedicate her life to preventing such tragedies from recurring. The memory of Estella's anguish and determination fueled Osborne's resolve. He could not let her efforts be in vain. With the knowledge contained within the forbidden tome, he believed he could rectify the past, to some extent, by mastering the very forces that had once caused so much pain. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but his ambition was clear: to harness the forbidden power that could distort reality itself, blurring the lines between life and death. Meanwhile, miles away in the bustling city of Eldoria, Estella stood atop the Council of Mages Grand Hall, her gaze fixed on the horizon where dark clouds gathered ominously. Her senses, attuned to the subtle shifts in the ethereal balance, had detected disturbances unlike any she had encountered before. The spirits she communed with whispered warnings of a rising threat, one that sought to disrupt the delicate equilibrium between the living and the dead. She had always known that such power existed, but the signs pointed to something far more dangerous than mere experimentation. Estella descended the grand staircase of the council's hall, her mind focused on uncovering the source of these disturbances. She approached the council members, a group of esteemed magicians and sorcerers who held sway over the magical community. With urgency, she reported her findings, detailing the unnatural shifts in the spiritual realm and the potential consequences of such disruptions. However, her warnings were met with skepticism. The council, burdened by political intrigue and reluctant to embrace the concerns of a single necromancer, dismissed her apprehensions as unfounded fears. Undeterred by their indifference, Estella resolved to investigate further on her own. She knew that time was running out, and the balance between worlds was hanging by a thread. Her journey led her to the outskirts of Eldoria, to the forgotten lands where ancient secrets lay buried beneath layers of time. It was there that she sought out Master Orion, a reclusive sage renowned for his deep knowledge of ancient spells and rituals. Convincing Araya to aid her was no small feat. He had long retreated from the affairs of the magical world, preferring solitude to the chaos of court politics. After days of persuasion and demonstrating the gravity of the situation, Orion agreed to assist Estella. Together, they scoured ancient texts and uncovered spells capable of sealing breaches between worlds. The preparation was arduous, requiring meticulous attention to detail and immense magical strength. Estella knew that if Osborne succeeded in his plans, the consequences would be dire. Spirits would roam freely, and the barrier between the living and the dead would crumble, plunging the world into chaos. Back in his sanctuary, Osborne's experiments had progressed rapidly. He had begun to attract followers, some magicians and sorcerers disillusioned with the established magical order, eager to embrace the raw power he offered. Together, they gathered rare components essential for the grand ritual that would open the forbidden gate connecting the human world with the realm of the undead. The group's dynamic was a mix of ambition and desperation, each member driven by their own motives, but united by the promise of unprecedented power. Osborne stood atop Storm Peak Mountain, an ancient nexus where the veil between worlds was thinnest. The site was chosen for its natural alignment with dark ley lines, amplifying the energy needed to perform the grand ritual. The blood-red moon cast an eerie glow over the landscape, its light mingling with the dark clouds that perpetually gathered atop the peak. The ground beneath them thrummed with energy as Osborne and his followers began their preparations, drawing power from the very essence of the earth. As the night progressed, the air grew heavy with anticipation. Osborne's chants resonated with the ancient symbols surrounding him, each incantation a step closer to unlocking the forbidden power. The sky darkened further, and spectral figures began to materialize, crossing the boundary between the living world and the realm of the undead. The towns nearby started experiencing supernatural phenomena, unexplained apparitions, strange noises, and an unsettling presence that made the very air feel heavy. Estella, having completed her preparations with Master Orion, raced against time to reach Storm Peak Mountain. The journey was treacherous, with rough terrain and unpredictable weather adding to the urgency of her mission. Her connection to the spirits guided her steps, each vision reinforcing the dire consequences of Osborne's actions. She could feel the weight of countless souls caught in the upheaval, their unrest a constant reminder of what was at stake. As Estella approached the ritual site, she encountered Osborne's followers. Determined to dissuade them from their path, she engaged in a heated debate about the dangers of forbidden magic. Her words, imbued with both authority and compassion, sought to reach the hearts of those who had been swayed by Osborne's promises. However, her pleas fell on deaf ears, and the tension between them escalated. Spells clashed in a dazzling display of magical prowess, light against darkness, order against chaos. The confrontation was intense, showcasing the stark contrast between Estella's harmonious control and Osborne's destructive ambition. Despite her best efforts, Estella was forced to retreat, narrowly escaping the full force of Osborne's power. The intensity of the encounter reaffirmed the gravity of the threat she faced. In the aftermath of the battle, Estella grappled with a moral dilemma. The more she learned about the extent of the chaos Osborne could unleash, the more she considered resorting to forbidden magic herself to stop him. Memories of her past struggles and the price she had paid for maintaining balance weighed heavily on her. But her principles held firm as she could not stoop to the same dark practices that had once cost her dearly. Instead, she sought alternative solutions, determined to uphold her beliefs even in the face of overwhelming odds. Recognizing the need for assistance, Estella reached out to her old allies. Among them was Master Orion, whose wisdom and knowledge were invaluable. Together, they delved deeper into ancient texts, uncovering spells capable of sealing breaches between worlds. The preparation was arduous, requiring meticulous attention to detail and immense magical strength. Estella knew that the success of their mission hinged on their ability to counteract Osborne's dark rituals. Meanwhile, Osborne faced his own internal struggles. Memories of his past friendship with Estella occasionally surfaced, causing brief moments of hesitation. He had once respected her dedication and wisdom, but those sentiments were quickly overshadowed by his obsession with power and his desire to reunite with his lost family. The loss had left a scar that he believed could only be healed by mastering the forbidden forces that Estella sought to contain. His ambition drove him forward, pushing him to disregard any lingering doubts or remnants of their shared past. Under the ominous light of the blood-red moon, Osborne began the grand ceremony. The air crackled with dark energy as he chanted incantations that resonated with the ancient symbols surrounding him. The sky darkened further, and spectral figures began to materialize, crossing the boundary between the living world and the realm of the undead. The ground beneath them seemed to pulse with energy, the very fabric of reality bending to Osborne's will. Estella, having completed her preparations with Master Orion, arrived at Storm Peak Mountain. The scene that greeted her was one of chaos and dark majesty. Spectral figures roamed freely, their ethereal forms shimmering under the blood-red moon. The ritual site was alive with energy, the air thick with the scent of ozone and the palpable tension of impending catastrophe. She knew that time was running out. Every passing moment brought Osborne closer to unleashing the forbidden power that could tear the world apart. Drawing upon the ancient spells she had learned, Estella began to counteract Osborne's rituals. Her magic, a harmonious blend of control and compassion, clashed with his destructive chaos. Spells collided in midair, creating bursts of light and shadow that illuminated the tumultuous landscape. The very ground beneath them seemed to shift and warp, landscape spinning and time warping as the fabric of existence unraveled. The battle between Estella and Osborne was not just a contest of magical prowess but a struggle for the very soul of reality. Each spell cast by Estella aimed to restore balance, to seal the breaches that threatened to engulf the world in darkness. Osborne, fueled by his obsession and the promise of forbidden power, countered with spells that sought to dismantle that balance, to reshape reality according to his twisted vision. As the confrontation intensified, Estella realized that conventional magic alone would not suffice to stop Osborne. The very essence of the forbidden power he wielded was beyond her control, and she needed to find a way to neutralize it without succumbing to the same dark practices. It was then that a profound understanding struck her. Only by embracing the very sacrifice she had long refused could she hope to restore balance. With a heavy heart, Estella prepared a self-sacrificial spell, one that would allow her to trap herself within the realm of the undead, sealing the gate from within. It was a decision that weighed heavily on her, knowing that it meant forsaking her life among the living. But the greater good demanded such a sacrifice, and she was resolute in her determination to prevent the world from descending into chaos. As she began the incantation, Osborne's power surged in a final, desperate attempt to thwart her. Memories of their past friendship flashed before his eyes, causing a momentary hesitation. For a brief instant, the lines between friend and foe blurred, and the depth of his obsession became painfully clear. But the promise of power and the desire to reunite with his lost family overshadowed any lingering sentiments, driving him to counter her spell with all his might. The clash of their magic reached a crescendo, the very fabric of reality straining under the immense power unleashed. Estella's spell, fueled by her unwavering determination and willingness to sacrifice everything, began to take hold. The realm of the undead trembled as the seal was reinforced, trapping her within its ethereal confines. Osborne, realizing the futility of his quest, felt a pang of regret as Estella's presence was absorbed into the sealed gate. In that final moment, Estella's sacrifice resonated through the realms, her spirit becoming a guardian that ensured the gate remained closed. The blood-red moon began to wane, its ominous glow fading as the supernatural occurrences ceased. The sky cleared, and a sense of peace settled over Storm Peak Mountain. Osborne, stripped of his forbidden power, fell to his knees, the weight of his actions bearing down upon him. The followers who had once revered him scattered, some seeking redemption for their misguided ambitions. As the dawn broke, the world began to heal from the brink of chaos. Estella's legacy lived on in the stories told by those who had witnessed her heroism. The Council of Mages, now fully aware of the dangers of forbidden magic, vowed to prevent such misuse in the future. They established stricter regulations and fostered a renewed commitment to maintaining the balance between the living and the dead. In the realm of the undead, Estella found peace among the spirits she had once sought to protect. Her presence became a beacon of hope and a reminder of the delicate balance that must be maintained. She watched over the sealed gate, ensuring that no one would ever attempt to disrupt the natural order again. Her sacrifice had not been in vain, and the world she had fought so hard to save could now move forward, forever indebted to her unwavering courage and selflessness. Back in Eldoria, a young mage named Laura discovered Estella's journals while exploring the Forgotten Lands. Inspired by her legacy, Laura vowed to honor Estella's memory by dedicating her life to safeguarding the balance between worlds. She studied the ancient spells and rituals, ensuring that the knowledge contained within would be used wisely and responsibly. The whispers of Estella's spirit guided her, a silent mentor who watched over her endeavors. As years passed, the story of Estella's sacrifice became a cornerstone of magical lore. Her tale served as a poignant reminder of the cost of obsession and the importance of maintaining balance. The gate remained sealed, a testament to her unwavering resolve, but the whispers that lingered served as a constant reminder that the boundary between life and death was eternally delicate. One evening, as Laura stood atop Storm Peak Mountain, she felt a familiar presence. A gentle whisper carried on the wind. It was Estella, her spirit at peace, yet ever watchful. "Remember, balance is everything," the whisper echoed, a final piece of wisdom to guide the next generation of mages. Laura nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle upon her shoulders. She knew that the legacy of those who had come before her was both a burden and a blessing, and she was determined to honor it with every fiber of her being. The world had been forever changed by the events that unfolded that fateful night under the blood-red moon. The power of the forbidden had been confronted and contained, but the lessons learned from that ordeal continued to resonate through the ages. Magic remained a force to be respected and carefully managed, its potential for both creation and destruction acknowledged by all who wielded it. In the end, the story of Osborne and Estella became more than just a tale of conflict. It was a testament to the enduring struggle between light and darkness, order and chaos. It highlighted the profound impact of personal choices and the lengths to which one would go to protect what they held dear. The balance between life and death, reality and the supernatural, was a delicate dance that required constant vigilance, a truth that would guide future generations in their quest to harness the mysteries of magic. Laura stood atop Storm Peak Mountain, the chill wind whipping her hair around her face as she gazed out over the vast expanse below. The moon had long since waned, its blood-red hue replaced by the soft glow of dawn. The air was crisp, carrying with it the scent of pine and the distant sound of rushing streams. She felt a profound sense of responsibility settle over her shoulders, the weight of Estella's legacy pressing upon her with every breath. Clutching Estella's journals tightly to her chest, Laura descended the mountain, her mind racing with the knowledge she had gleaned from the aged pages. The journals detailed intricate spells and rituals, many of which Estella had developed during her final days. Among the notes were references to the sealed gate, warnings about the delicate balance between worlds, and hints at deeper, more profound magic that could safeguard against future threats. As she navigated the winding paths back to Eldoria, Laura couldn't shake the feeling that the peace Estella had fought so hard to achieve was fragile. The events that had transpired under the blood-red moon were a stark reminder of the thin line that separated order from chaos. She knew that maintaining this balance would require vigilance, wisdom, and perhaps, sacrifices of her own. Upon her return, Eldoria was beginning to stir with the activities of a new day. The Council of Mages had taken Estella's warnings to heart, implementing stricter regulations on magical practices and increasing their efforts to monitor any disturbances in the ethereal realm. Laura sought an audience with the Council, eager to share the insights she had gained from Estella's journals. The Grand Hall of the Council of Mages was as imposing as ever, its domed ceiling reflecting the morning light that streamed through stained glass windows. Laura approached the dais where the council members convened, her heart pounding with a mixture of anticipation and anxiety. Master Orion, now an elder sage, greeted her with a nod, recognizing the determination in her eyes. "Laura, we've been expecting you," he said, his voice steady and reassuring. "Please, share what you've discovered." She unbound the journals, laying them carefully on the table before her. The council members leaned in, their expressions a blend of curiosity and concern. "Estella left behind these journals," Laura began, her voice clear and resolute. "They contain not only her research and spells but also her insights into preventing the misuse of forbidden magic. We have a chance to honor her legacy by ensuring that what happened under Storm Peak Mountain never occurs again." Master Orion studied the journals thoughtfully. Estella was a remarkable necromancer, he mused. Her dedication to maintaining balance was unwavering. These journals could be invaluable in guiding our future actions. Another council member, Lady Marizella, a mage renowned for her expertise in elemental magic, raised the question. "Laura, are there specific spells or protections within these journals that we should prioritize?" Laura nodded, flipping through the delicate pages. "Yes, there are several containment spells designed to reinforce the barriers between our world and the realm of the undead. Additionally, Estella detailed a network of guardians and mages trained specifically to monitor and respond to any breaches. Implementing these measures could significantly reduce the risk of future threats." The council deliberated, weighing the potential benefits against the challenges of integrating new protocols into their existing framework. After a thorough discussion, they reached a consensus. "We will incorporate Estella's findings into our practices," Lady Marizella declared. "Her work aligns perfectly with our mission to safeguard the balance between worlds." With the Council's approval, Laura began organizing training sessions for the newly designated guardians. Drawing upon Estella's teachings, she developed a curriculum that emphasized not only the technical aspects of the spells but also the ethical considerations of wielding such power. The guardians were selected from among the most promising mages, individuals who demonstrated both strength and a deep sense of responsibility. As the months passed, Eldoria flourished under the new system. The Guardians became adept at detecting and neutralizing potential threats, their presence a reassuring sign to the populace that their world was being protected. Laura, too, found herself growing into her role, her confidence bolstered by the knowledge and wisdom passed down from Estella. However, peace has a way of being temporary, especially in a world where magic weaves through every facet of existence. Unbeknownst to Laura and the council, remnants of Osborne's followers had scattered, their allegiance to the dark sorcerer wavering but not entirely broken. Among them was Thorn, a former apprentice of Osborne who had been deeply influenced by his mentor's charisma and vision. Thorn had watched from the shadows as Eldoria rebuilt itself, the council's new measures effectively curbing the chaos he had once been a part of. Yet, the allure of forbidden power still gnawed at him, the promise of reshaping reality to his will too tempting to ignore. Determined to resurrect Osborne's plans, he began to delve once more into the forbidden arts, his actions more cautious and calculated than before. One evening, under the guise of darkness, Thorn infiltrated the ruins where Osborne had once performed his grand ritual. The site, now heavily monitored by the Council's guardians, was a place of both reverence and caution. Vines and moss had reclaimed the ancient stones, nature slowly eroding the remnants of dark magic that had once thrived there. Thorn stood at the center of the ruins, pulling out a concealed dagger etched with protective runes. He had spent months studying Osborne's journals, piecing together the remnants of the forbidden spells that could bend reality. His goal was not merely to harness the power for himself but to prove that the boundaries between worlds could be manipulated without succumbing to chaos. As he began the incantation, a faint hum of energy resonated through the air. The ground beneath him pulsed with power, the ancient symbols lighting up with a soft, eerie glow. Thorn felt a surge of exhilaration as he progressed, the spells responding to his will with increasing intensity. Yet, unlike Osborne's frantic pursuit, Thorn approached the rituals with a calculated precision, aware of the delicate balance required to avoid catastrophe. Unbeknownst to him, Laura had sensed a disturbance. Her connection to the ethereal balance was still strong, a gift from Estella that allowed her to perceive even the slightest shifts in magical energies. She felt a pull towards the ruins, a sense of unease that signaled something was amiss. Determined to investigate, she gathered a group of trusted guardians and set out toward Storm Peak Mountain once more. As Laura and her team approached the ruins, the sky above them was painted with hues of twilight, the fading light casting long shadows across the landscape. The air was thick with anticipation, the very atmosphere charged with latent magic. They arrived at the site to find Thorn standing amidst the ancient stones, his eyes closed in concentration as he chanted the final components of the spell. Laura, Thorn's voice broke the silence, a mix of surprise and determination. I didn't expect to see you here. Laura stepped forward, her presence commanding yet compassionate. Thorn, what are you doing? This path leads only to destruction. Thorn opened his eyes, the flicker of dark magic evident in his gaze. Destruction? No, Estella showed us that balance is essential. Osborne lost his way by trying to control forces he couldn't comprehend. I'm seeking a middle ground, a way to harness the power without tipping the scales into chaos. Laura sighed, understanding the allure that had once captivated Osborne and now Thorn. It's not about control, Thorn. It's about respect for the balance. Estella's sacrifice was a testament to that. We can't afford to repeat the mistakes of the past. Thorn's expression hardened, his resolve unwavering. You think your way is the only way, but there are limits to what we can achieve by playing it safe. Imagine the possibilities if we could bridge the gap between worlds without fear. We could heal, create, and evolve beyond our current limitations. Before Laura could respond, the ground beneath them began to tremble, the very fabric of reality responding to the ongoing ritual. The symbols around Thorn glowed brighter, the energy intensifying as the boundaries between worlds thinned once more. Laura quickly assessed the situation, recognizing the signs of a potential breach if the ritual continued unchecked. Thorn, stop this now, she implored, stepping closer. You're on a dangerous path. But Thorn was beyond reason. No, Laura, I won't let fear dictate our progress. If you stand in my way, then so be it. With that, he unleashed a surge of dark magic, the air crackling with raw power as the ritual spiraled out of control. Laura reacted swiftly, raising her hands to counter the attack. The guardians around her sprang into action, casting protective spells to contain the burgeoning energy. The clash of magic filled the night, a fierce battle that illuminated the ruins with bursts of light and shadow. Thorn's spells were potent, a blend of destructive force and reality manipulation, reflecting his twisted interpretation of Estella's teachings. Laura's magic, however, was grounded in harmony and balance, each spell carefully measured to counteract the chaos without further destabilizing the fragile equilibrium. The two mages engaged in a deadly dance, their powers colliding with each spell pushing the boundaries of what was possible. As the battle raged, Laura realized that traditional spells alone wouldn't suffice to stop Thorn. The very essence of his power threatened to tear the veil between worlds, and she needed to find a way to neutralize it without causing further harm. Drawing upon Estella's teachings, she delved deeper into her understanding of the balance, seeking a solution that honored the legacy of the fallen necromancer. In a moment of clarity, Laura remembered a passage from Estella's journal: a spell designed to harmonize conflicting energies, restoring balance without imposing control. It was a risky move, one that required complete trust in the natural order, but it was the only way to prevent the impending catastrophe. "Thorn, listen to me," Laura called out amidst the chaos, her voice steady despite the turmoil around her. "We can achieve harmony without sacrificing ourselves or the balance we've fought so hard to maintain." Thorn hesitated, the flicker of doubt briefly crossing his features. "Harmony?" he echoed, his voice tinged with uncertainty. "You think it's that simple?" "It's not about simplicity," Laura replied, her determination unwavering. "It's about understanding and respecting the forces at play. Let me help you find a better way." For a fleeting moment, the intense battle paused as Thorn grappled with his inner turmoil. Memories of Osborne and their shared past flickered in his mind, the promise of forbidden power now overshadowed by the cost it had entailed. The energy around them began to stabilize, the ritual slowing as Thorn's resolve wavered. With a deep breath, Thorn lowered his hands, the dark magic dissipating into the night. "Maybe you're right," he conceded, exhaustion evident in his voice. "Perhaps there is a better way." Laura approached him cautiously, extending a hand of reconciliation. "It's not too late to make things right. Together, we can ensure that the balance is maintained without risking everything we've worked for." Thorn nodded, accepting her gesture. "I want to honor Estella's legacy, not exploit it. Help me understand how we can move forward without repeating the mistakes of the past." As the tension between them eased, the guardians around them began to dismantle the remnants of the unstable ritual, ensuring that no further breaches would occur. The night sky, now calm and clear, reflected the newfound hope that had emerged from the ashes of conflict. In the days that followed, Thorn integrated himself into the Council's efforts, bringing with him a wealth of knowledge gleaned from his time studying the forbidden arts. His unique perspective proved invaluable, bridging gaps between traditional practices and the innovative approaches inspired by Estella's journals. Together, Laura and Thorn worked tirelessly to enhance the safeguards that protected the balance between worlds, their collaboration a testament to the power of redemption and unity. Eldoria continued to thrive, its magical community strengthened by the lessons learned from the past. The Guardians, now more diverse and knowledgeable than ever, stood as vigilant protectors, their presence a constant reassurance to the populace. Laura's leadership, bolstered by her unwavering dedication and the wisdom inherited from Estella, guided them through challenges both internal and external. Yet, the delicate balance they maintained was ever vulnerable, the forces of magic a constant ebb and flow that required careful management. As new threats emerged and old rivalry simmered beneath the surface, Laura remained steadfast in her commitment to preserving harmony. Her journey, inspired by sacrifice and driven by purpose, had transformed her into a beacon of hope and resilience. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Laura found herself wandering the halls of the Council of Mages' Grand Library. The vast repository of knowledge housed countless tomes and scrolls, each containing secrets and spells that had been accumulated over centuries. She approached a secluded alcove, a quiet sanctuary where she could reflect and plan. Pulling out Estella's journals once more, Laura traced her fingers over the delicate script, feeling a deep connection to the woman who had shaped her path. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "Your sacrifice wasn't in vain." As she pondered the future, a soft knock echoed through the library, drawing her attention. She looked up to see Master Orion entering, his expression one of gentle concern. "Laura, It's time we discuss the recent disturbances reported on the eastern borders, he said, his tone serious yet reassuring. She nodded, tucking the journals back into her satchel. I was just about to. It seems our work is far from over. Together, they made their way to the council chamber, where a group of concerned mages awaited them. Reports of unusual magical activity had been increasing, signs that the balance they had fought so hard to maintain was once again under threat. Laura knew that addressing these disturbances would require not only their expertise but also the unity and strength of the entire magical community. As the meeting commenced, strategies were proposed and responsibilities assigned. Laura took the lead, her confidence inspiring those around her. She emphasized the importance of proactive measures, advocating for increased monitoring and the implementation of contingency plans should any breaches occur. The council listened attentively, their collective experience guiding the decisions that would shape their response. In the weeks that followed, Laura and Thorn spearheaded several initiatives aimed at fortifying Eldoria's defenses. They organized training sessions, empowering the Guardians with advanced techniques and fostering a deeper understanding of the delicate balance they were sworn to protect. Their efforts paid off as the frequency of disturbances began to decline, the community growing more resilient in the face of adversity. However, beneath the surface, tensions brewed. Not all were pleased with the council's direction, and whispers of dissent began to circulate among certain factions. Some believed that the strict regulations stifled creativity and hindered the true potential of magic, while others felt that the Guardians held too much power, imposing their will upon the populace. Laura recognized the importance of addressing these concerns, understanding that unity was essential to maintaining the fragile harmony they had achieved. Determined to foster open communication, she organized forums where mages and sorcerers could voice their opinions and contribute to the ongoing discourse. These gatherings became a cornerstone of Eldoria's magical society, promoting transparency and collaboration. Through these efforts, Laura sought to bridge gaps and build a community grounded in mutual respect and shared purpose. One particularly challenging day, a mysterious artifact was discovered in the depths of the Whispering Woods, a place known for its ancient magic and enigmatic energies. The artifact, a crystalline orb pulsating with a mesmerizing light, seemed to resonate with the very essence of the ethereal balance. Reports indicated that it emitted powerful magical waves, disrupting the surrounding environment and attracting the attention of both spirits and living creatures alike. Intrigued by the artifact's potential, Laura organized an expedition to investigate its origins and purpose. Accompanied by Thorn, Master Orion, and a group of skilled guardians, she ventured into the heart of the Whispering Woods, navigating the dense foliage and ethereal mists that cloaked the area. The journey was arduous, the air thick with magic that seemed to whisper secrets only the forest could comprehend. Upon reaching the source, they found the orb perched atop a pedestal of intertwined roots and vines, emanating a harmonious yet potent energy. Thorn approached cautiously, his eyes fixed on the crystalline surface. "This artifact is unlike anything we've encountered before," he remarked, his voice tinged with awe. "It's as if it embodies the very balance we've been striving to maintain." Laura nodded, her intuition guiding her actions. "We need to understand its purpose and ensure it doesn't pose a threat to our balance." As they examined the orb, Master Orion deciphered the inscriptions surrounding the pedestal. These symbols indicate that the orb is a conduit, a tool designed to amplify and stabilize magical energies. It was likely created by Estella herself, a safeguard to reinforce the barriers between worlds. Laura felt a surge of gratitude and admiration for Stella's foresight. "If that's the case, we need to integrate this into our defenses. It could be the key to preventing future breaches." Their exploration was interrupted by a sudden surge of energy, the orb glowing brighter as the ambient magic intensified. Spirits, both benevolent and restless, began to materialize around them, drawn to the artifact's power. Laura sensed a shift in the ethereal balance, a sign that the orb was activating its protective functions. Thorn stepped forward, raising his hands to channel his magic. We need to stabilize the orb before it overwhelms the surrounding area. Working in unison, Laura and Thorn combined their magical prowess, weaving spells that harmonized with the orb's energy. The guardians assisted, their movements synchronized as they reinforced the containment field surrounding the artifact. Slowly, the energy began to settle, the spirits finding peace as the balance was restored. Master Orion approached, a satisfied smile on his face. "You've done well, Laura." This orb will be a valuable asset in our ongoing efforts to maintain harmony. Laura felt a deep sense of accomplishment, knowing that their actions had prevented potential chaos. It's a testament to Estella's legacy and the strength of our community. Together, we can overcome any challenge. As they made their way back to Eldoria, the orb securely in their possession, Laura reflected on the journey that had brought her here. From the sacrifices of the past to the unity of the present, every step had been guided by a commitment to balance and respect for the forces that shaped their world. She knew that the path ahead would continue to present obstacles, but with allies like Thorn and the unwavering support of the Council, she was confident in their ability to safeguard the delicate equilibrium they had fought so hard to achieve. Days turned into weeks, and Eldoria continued to prosper under the vigilant eyes of its protectors. The artifact was carefully studied and integrated into the Council's defenses, its presence a beacon of hope and a reminder of the power of unity. Laura's leadership inspired others to embrace their roles with dedication and humility, fostering a community grounded in mutual respect and shared responsibility. However, the tranquility was soon disrupted by an unexpected visit of an enigmatic sorceress named Morgana, whose reputation preceded her as a formidable practitioner of dark magic. Her arrival in Eldoria was met with apprehension, her intentions unclear and her allegiance unknown. Morgana sought an audience with the Council, her demeanor calm yet exuding an air of authority that demanded attention. Laura agreed to meet with her, understanding the importance of addressing potential threats head-on. In the Council chamber, Morgana presented herself as a wanderer seeking refuge and knowledge, her eyes betraying a depth of experience and wisdom. "I come bearing warnings," she began, her voice melodic yet commanding. "There are forces at play that even your safeguards may not be prepared to handle." Master Orion regarded her with cautious curiosity. "What threats do you speak of, Morgana?" She took a deep breath, her gaze unwavering. "Ancient entities beyond our comprehension are awakening. Their influence could destabilize the balance you've worked so hard to maintain. The sealed gate is not the only boundary that exists. There are other realms and dimensions where powerful beings reside, each with their own agendas." Laura felt a chill run down her spine, the gravity of Morgana's words sinking in. "How do you propose we address these threats?" Morgana stepped forward, her presence commanding the room. "We need to expand our understanding of the multiverse, to establish connections with other realms in a controlled and respectful manner. It's not about opening gates recklessly, but about fostering communication and alliances to ensure mutual protection." Thorn exchanged a glance with Laura, both recognizing the truth in Morgana's words. Estella's journals focused primarily on maintaining the balance between the living and the dead, he remarked. "But what you're suggesting requires a broader approach, encompassing all facets of magical reality." Morgana nodded. "Exactly. By broadening our scope, we can anticipate and mitigate threats before they escalate. It requires collaboration, not just within Eldoria but with other magical communities and realms. Isolation will only make us vulnerable." Laura contemplated the proposition, understanding the potential benefits and risks. "It's a monumental task, but it may be necessary to ensure the longevity of our balance." "What steps do you recommend we take immediately?" Morgana outlined a plan to establish a network of interrealm liaisons, individuals trained to communicate and negotiate with entities from other dimensions. She emphasized the importance of cultural understanding and mutual respect, ensuring that these interactions were based on cooperation rather than domination. We must approach this with humility and caution. The power to connect worlds comes with the responsibility to maintain harmony. The council deliberated, weighing the potential advantages against the inherent dangers of expanding their reach. After thorough discussion, they agreed to proceed, recognizing that the evolving nature of magic demanded adaptability and foresight. Laura was tasked with leading the initiative, her experience and dedication making her the ideal candidate to spearhead this new endeavor. Under her guidance, the council began reaching out to neighboring magical communities, forging alliances and establishing protocols for inter-realm communication. These efforts were met with varying degrees of enthusiasm and skepticism, but Laura remained steadfast, her commitment unwavering. She believed that by working together, they could create a network of support that transcended individual realms, fostering a united front against any threats that might arise. As the network expanded, so did Aldoria's influence within the magical multiverse. Scholars, mages, and sorcerers from diverse backgrounds collaborated, sharing knowledge and resources to enhance their collective understanding of the complex web of realities. The Guardians, now more skilled and versatile than ever, adapted to their new roles, their training encompassing not just defense but also diplomacy and negotiation. Yet, as their reach extended, so did the challenges they faced. Not all entities were benevolent, and some sought to exploit the connections for their own gain. Morgana proved to be an invaluable asset, her expertise in navigating the intricacies of dark magic and inter-realm politics ensuring that the council remained vigilant against potential threats. Her presence, initially met with suspicion, became a symbol of the necessity of diverse perspectives in maintaining balance. One fateful night, as Laura conducted a routine inspection of the newly established inter-realm communication hub, an alarm echoed through the chamber, a signal indicating a breach in one of the peripheral realms. Without hesitation, she rallied her team, their training and preparation enabling them to respond swiftly and efficiently. The breach was located in the Shadowfell, a realm known for its enigmatic and often unpredictable magic. Upon arrival, they found a portal flickering erratically, the energy emanating from it unstable and dangerous. From within the shadows emerged a figure cloaked in darkness, eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. It was an emissary from the Shadowfell, a messenger sent to negotiate terms and ensure that the breach was not a precursor to an invasion. Laura approached cautiously, extending a hand in peace. "We mean you no harm. We're here to help stabilize the breach and ensure the safety of both our realms." The emissary regarded her with a mixture of suspicion and curiosity. "Your intentions seem genuine, but trust must be earned. The Shadowfell has faced countless attempts at infiltration and exploitation. How can we be certain that your actions will prevent further breaches?" Thorn stepped forward, his demeanor calm and authoritative. "We've implemented new safeguards and protocols based on Estella's teachings and Morgana's insights. Our goal is to maintain the balance and prevent any unauthorized access between realms." The emissary studied him for a moment before nodding. "Very well, we will cooperate, but be warned that there are forces at play that seek to disrupt this fragile harmony. Vigilance is paramount." Together, they worked to stabilize the portal, their combined magic weaving a tapestry of protection that sealed the breach and reinforced the barriers between the realms. The collaboration was a testament to the progress Eldora had made, a shining example of what could be achieved through unity and mutual respect. As the emissary departed, Laura felt a sense of accomplishment tempered by the knowledge that their work was far from over. The magical multiverse was vast and complex, its myriad realms interconnected in ways that were both wondrous and perilous. Yet, with each challenge they faced, Eldoria grew stronger, its commitment to balance unwavering. Months turned into years, and Eldoria became a beacon of hope and stability within the magical community. The inter-realm network thrived, fostering alliances that spanned across dimensions and cultures. Laura's leadership, grounded in the wisdom of Estella and bolstered by the support of allies like Thorn and Morgana, ensured that the balance was maintained with grace and resilience. However, peace has a way of being tested, and Eldoria was no exception. A series of unexplained phenomena began to occur: mysterious disappearances, unexplained magical surges, and reports of entities slipping through unnoticed breaches. The council convened, their faces etched with concern as they delved into the cause of these disturbances. Laura, ever the proactive leader, took it upon herself to investigate the anomalies. Accompanied by Thorn and a select group of guardians, she delved deep into the archives, sifting through ancient texts and prophecies that might hold the key to understanding the recent events. It was during one of these late-night sessions that she stumbled upon a reference to the Eclipse of Realms, a rare celestial event that occurred once every millennium, capable of amplifying magical energies and weakening the barriers between worlds. According to the texts, the Eclipse of Realms would create temporary windows of vulnerability, allowing entities from other dimensions to slip through if the barriers were not adequately reinforced. The next eclipse was imminent, scheduled to occur in just a few weeks. The revelation sent a wave of urgency through the council, prompting immediate action to fortify their defenses and ensure that the breaches could withstand the heightened magical activity. Laura mobilized the Interrealm network, coordinating efforts with allied realms to synchronize their protective measures. Thorn and Morgana led teams to reinforce existing portals, implementing advanced spells and enchantments that drew upon the collective knowledge of their allies. The Guardians, now seasoned and adept at handling diverse magical challenges, worked tirelessly to monitor and respond to any signs of intrusion. As the day of the eclipse approached, tension mounted. The air crackled with latent energy, the atmosphere charged with anticipation and anxiety. Eldoria was a hive of activity, each mage and sorcerer contributing their expertise to the monumental task at hand. Laura felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on her, but her resolve remained unshaken. She had witnessed the consequences of neglecting the balance, and she was determined to prevent history from repeating itself. On the eve of the eclipse, a grand assembly was held in the council chamber. Representatives from allied realms gathered, their diverse appearances and magical styles a testament to the unity they had forged. Master Orion addressed the assembly, his voice resonating with authority. Tomorrow, we face a challenge unlike any before. The Eclipse of Realms will test our defenses and our commitment to maintaining the balance. Let us stand united, drawing strength from our shared purpose. Laura stood beside him, her eyes meeting those of her allies. We've come a long way, but our work is far from over. Together, we can ensure that the eclipse strengthens our bonds and fortifies our defenses, rather than tearing them apart. As midnight approached, the sky began to darken, the celestial alignment signaling the onset of the eclipse. The moon obscured the sun, casting an ethereal twilight over Eldoria. The air grew heavy with magic, the energy palpable as the realms intersected in a dance of light and shadow. Guardians stood vigilant, their spells forming a protective barrier that shimmered with power. The first surge of energy rippled through the network, the spells reacting in unison to counteract the destabilizing forces. Laura felt the strain, her magic intertwined with that of her allies, each spell a thread in the intricate tapestry of protection. Thorn and Morgana worked side by side, their combined expertise creating a formidable shield that held steadfast against the incoming waves of magic. Suddenly, a piercing scream echoed through the chamber, a stark reminder that not all breaches were visible or immediately detectable. Laura's instincts kicked in, directing her to the source of the disturbance. She raced through the labyrinthine corridors of the council hall, her heart pounding with adrenaline as she navigated the chaos. In a secluded wing of the building, she found a group of mages struggling to contain a volatile surge of dark magic emanating from a hidden portal. The energy was raw and unpredictable, threatening to breach the reinforced barriers. Without hesitation, Laura joined the efforts, her spells harmonizing with those around her to stabilize the portal and prevent any entities from slipping through. As the last of the dark energy dissipated, the chamber fell silent, save for the heavy breaths of the exhausted mages. Laura took a moment to catch her breath, her gaze scanning the area for any signs of lingering threats. Satisfied that the immediate danger had passed, she allowed herself a brief moment of respite before returning to the council chamber to assess the overall situation. The eclipse continued to challenge their defenses, each passing hour testing their limits. Yet, through sheer determination and unwavering unity, they held strong, the combined efforts of countless mages and sorcerers fending off the encroaching chaos. As dawn broke, the celestial event reached its zenith, the once overcast sky now beginning to clear as the eclipse waned. The morning light revealed the extent of their success. The breaches had been contained, the barriers reinforced, and no entities had managed to slip through undetected. Exhausted but triumphant, the council members gathered to acknowledge the hard-fought victory. Master Orion addressed the assembly once more, his voice filled with pride. Today, we have proven that our unity and dedication can overcome even the most formidable challenges. Let this be a testament to what we can achieve when we stand together. Laura felt a profound sense of accomplishment, knowing that their efforts had safeguarded the balance for another millennium. Yet, she remained mindful of the ever-present need for vigilance, understanding that the delicate equilibrium between worlds was an ongoing responsibility. In the aftermath of the eclipse, Eldoria entered a period of reflection and renewal. The council reviewed their defenses, incorporating the lessons learned from the ordeal to enhance their preparedness for future challenges. The interrealm network continued to flourish, fostering deeper connections and collaborations that strengthened their collective resilience. Thorn, having proven his loyalty and dedication, took on a more prominent role within the council. His insights invaluable in navigating the complexities of interrealm diplomacy. Morgana, too, became a trusted advisor, her expertise in dark magic proving essential in identifying and countering potential threats. Together, they formed a formidable team, their combined strengths a cornerstone of Eldoria's continued success. Laura, now recognized as one of the foremost leaders in the magical community, took time to mentor the next generation of mages. She believed that empowering others was key to ensuring the longevity of their efforts, fostering a culture of knowledge sharing and mutual support. Her teachings emphasized not just the technical aspects of magic, but also the ethical considerations that came with wielding such power. One evening, as Laura walked through the serene gardens that surrounded the council hall, she reflected on the journey that had brought her here. From the sacrifices of Estella to the unity forged through adversity, every experience had shaped her into the leader she had become. The gardens, bathed in the soft glow of lanterns, were a sanctuary of peace and beauty, a stark contrast to the chaos they had recently overcome. As she strolled along the winding paths, a familiar presence approached a thorn, his expression thoughtful. "You did well today, Laura," he remarked, his voice warm with admiration. "The way you handled the breach was exemplary." Laura smiled, feeling a sense of camaraderie and respect. "We did it together, Thorn. It's a testament to what we can achieve when we combine our strengths." He nodded, his eyes reflecting a shared understanding. "Indeed, there's still much to be done, but I have no doubt that with you leading us, we'll continue to uphold the balance and protect our world." Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Morgana, who joined them with a serene grace. "The gardens are beautiful this time of year," she mused, her gaze sweeping over the blooming flowers and tranquil ponds. "A perfect place to reflect on our achievements and plan for the future." Laura glanced between her two trusted allies, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "It's moments like these that remind me why we do what we do. The peace and harmony we strive for are worth every challenge we face." As the three of them stood amidst the beauty of the gardens, the stars began to twinkle in the twilight sky, a reminder of the countless realms interconnected by magic. They knew that their journey was far from over, that new challenges and opportunities awaited them. But with the lessons of the past guiding their actions and the strength of their unity propelling them forward, they were ready to face whatever the future held. In the days that followed, Eldoria continued to thrive, its magical community more resilient and unified than ever before. The Council's initiatives bore fruit, fostering a culture of cooperation and continuous improvement. Laura's influence extended beyond her immediate responsibilities, inspiring others to take ownership of their roles and contribute to the collective good. One particularly significant project was the establishment of the Nexus Academy, a training ground for mages dedicated to mastering both traditional and interrealm magic. The academy became a hub of innovation and learning, attracting talent from across the magical multiverse. Here, students were taught not only the intricacies of spellcraft but also the importance of balance and ethical responsibility. Laura took a personal interest in the academy, often visiting to offer guidance and share her experiences. She believed that education was the cornerstone of their continued success, empowering future generations to uphold the balance with wisdom and compassion. The Academy's curriculum was diverse and comprehensive, reflecting the multifaceted nature of magic and its impact on the world. As time progressed, the bonds between Eldoria and its allied realms deepened, their collaborations yielding remarkable advancements in magical research and defense. Joint projects led to the discovery of new spells and enchantments, each building upon the foundations laid by Estella and refined through the collective efforts of their communities. The Interrealm Network became a model of cooperation, demonstrating the strength that comes from unity and shared purpose. However, amidst the prosperity, subtle signs of unrest began to surface. Whispers of a hidden faction operating within the shadows reached the Council's ears, hints of individuals who sought to exploit the interrealm connections for their own gain. These rumors were initially dismissed as baseless fears, but as minor incidents of unauthorized portal tampering and illicit magical exchanges increased, the Council realized that a more thorough investigation was necessary. Laura, now a seasoned leader, took charge of the inquiry, assembling a dedicated team to uncover the truth behind the disturbances. She understood that confronting this hidden threat would require discretion and strategic planning, ensuring that the integrity of the Interrealm Network remain intact. The team delved into the underbelly of Eldoria's magical society, uncovering layers of deception and intrigue that hinted at a more sinister agenda. Their investigation led them to a clandestine group known as the Shadow Veil, a faction composed of mages who believed that the strict regulations imposed by the Council were stifling their potential. They sought to push the boundaries of magic further, disregarding the ethical considerations that had become the cornerstone of Eldoria's defenses. Their actions threatened to disrupt the delicate balance, risking the very harmony that Laura and her allies had fought so hard to achieve. As the team unraveled the Shadow Veil's operations, they discovered that the faction had infiltrated various sectors of Eldoria's magical community, their influence extending into key institutions and governance structures. The threat was more insidious than anyone had anticipated, requiring a nuanced approach to neutralize without causing widespread panic or distrust. Laura knew that addressing this internal threat would require both strength and compassion. She convened a special session of the Council, outlining the findings and proposing a strategy to dismantle the Shadow Veil's influence. The Council agreed on a plan that combined enforcement with outreach, aiming to bring those involved back into the fold rather than resorting to outright confrontation. The first step was to identify and confront the leaders of the Shadow Veil. Individuals who had harnessed dark magic to further their agenda. Thorn and Morgana played pivotal roles in this endeavor, using their expertise to track down key members and negotiate their surrender. Their approach was firm yet understanding, recognizing that those who had been swayed by the faction's ideology might be open to redemption. Laura herself led the final confrontation, facing the Shadow Veil's mastermind, a charismatic and formidable sorcerer named Draven. His vision of unrestrained magic had driven him to push beyond the ethical boundaries that Eldoria had established, believing that true progress could only be achieved through limitless exploration. "You don't understand," Draven argued, his voice filled with conviction. "Restricting our magic limits our potential. With unrestricted power, we can achieve greatness beyond imagination." Laura stood her ground, her eyes meeting his with unwavering resolve. "True greatness lies in balance and responsibility, not in unchecked power. You've lost sight of what magic was meant to do: protect and enhance our world, not dominate it." Draven's expression hardened, the dark energy surrounding him pulsing with intensity. "You speak of balance, but you're holding us back from what we could become. Join us, Laura. Together, we can reshape reality to our will." But Laura knew that joining forces with someone who sought to undermine the very principles they had fought to uphold was not an option. "I won't allow you to disrupt the balance, Draven. Your actions endanger not just Eldoria but all realms connected through our network." With those words, the final battle commenced, a clash of ideologies and magical prowess that echoed the conflicts of the past. Draven's dark spells contrasted sharply with Laura's harmonious magic, each representing a different philosophy of power and responsibility. The Guardians, Thorn, and Morgana stood by her side, their combined efforts creating a formidable defense against Draven's onslaught. As the battle raged, Laura tapped into the deepest reserves of her magic, channeling the lessons learned from Estella and the support of her allies. She cast spells that sought to neutralize rather than destroy, aiming to bring Draven back from the brink of obsession. Her determination and compassion shone through, even in the heat of conflict. Eventually, the tide began to turn. Draven's relentless pursuit of power started to wane as he grappled with the weight of Laura's unwavering conviction. The realization that his actions had strayed from the path of balance and harmony struck a chord within him, igniting a spark of doubt and remorse. In a final act of surrender, Draven lowered his hands, the dark magic dissipating around him. "Perhaps I lost my way," he admitted, his voice tinged with regret. "I wanted to create something extraordinary, but I let my ambition cloud my judgment." Laura approached him cautiously, offering a hand of reconciliation. "It's never too late to make amends, Draven. We can help you find your way back." With Thorn and Morgana's support, Draven was brought into the fold, his knowledge and experience proving valuable in strengthening Eldoria's defenses. His redemption served as a powerful reminder that even those who faltered could find their way back through understanding and compassion. As the council celebrated their victory, Laura felt a profound sense of accomplishment and hope. They had successfully navigated yet another challenge, their unity and dedication ensuring that the balance remained intact. The lessons learned from confronting the Shadow Veil would inform their future actions, reinforcing the importance of vigilance and ethical responsibility in their magical practices. Years passed, and Eldoria continued to stand as a bastion of balance and harmony within the magical multiverse. The Nexus Academy produced generations of skilled mages who carried forward the legacy of Estella, each contributing to the ongoing efforts to maintain the delicate equilibrium between worlds. Laura's leadership remained a guiding force, her wisdom and compassion inspiring those around her to strive for greatness while honoring the principles that